my name is Kate. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I wanted to do a little colour and chat video with you all, just to have a little catch up on, what's been happening in my life recently and how it's all going in this transition into autumn. So I've got my cup of tea here with me, warm and toasty and ready to drink. It's a fruity one, which is my favorite kind of tea. And this mug was a present that I received for Teachers' Day, which was last week when I'm filming this, but probably about 2 weeks ago when you're watching it. It's got this cute little cat on it. I, of course, can't show you properly because it's quite full. But yeah, super cute. And I thought that's quite fitting as well, considering which book we are going to be colouring in today. Let me pop that over here. So today we're going to be colouring in Catitude by Camilla. And the page that I wanted to do is this one with the cute little kitty who's got his head stuck in a piece of toast. Now, this isn't a particularly autumnal page, and it wasn't the first one that jumped into my head when my husband picked this book for my randomized prompt of a family member picks your book. In fact, I did first consider doing the little wizard cat. Here he is. But then I decided that I have quite a few autumnal and Halloweeny pages already, so I wanted to do something different. And so I landed on this one with the cute little grumpy face. And I thought today what we would do would be to do some basing with neocolours. And I thought we'll start with basing this piece of toast. And I will leave the cat, I think, because I will probably do him all with coloured pencil. But then I also want to base the background as well today. So we'll at least do those two things together. And then again, if we have time, we might start looking at some pencil shading, looking at some colours for this cute little kitty, and so on. But yeah, let's get started with our basing. So for the actual piece of toast, I will be using Desert Rose. I think that will be a good base color for the toast. And then again, I will be doing some pencil shading over top to deepen up some areas, make it look a little bit more, not burnt, but toasty, I guess. Yeah, I think it will be a good base color. So last time I did a color and chat video, I did end up having to, add some music in at, certain places during the video, just because I simply got too distracted by my coloring and forgot to talk. So if that happens again today, I apologize in advance, and I will make sure to put in, some nice music or something for you to listen to, so you won't have to just sit there and watch me color in silence. Again, I will try my best to not get too distracted again today. And yeah, I thought we could have a little chat about, autumn and how everything is going, what's been happening in my life since we last did a color and chat. So in my last color and chat, I had just returned to work after the summer holidays, so I'm a teacher. And now we are almost at the end of our first half term. This week will be our last week of term, so by the time you watch this video, I will be on my half term break. My plan is to put this video out on Friday, and it's Sunday today. So I'm just getting ready for that, last week of term, which if you work in a school or anything similar, there's always a lot of things happening during the last week to 2 weeks of the term. So looking to be, it's looking to be, quite a busy week ahead for me. We have, oops, I almost knocked my tin of neocolours off the table. Yeah, it's looking to be quite a busy week. we have parent-teacher meetings this week, and that's another reason why I really wanted to get this page based today, because I thought if I base the background and everything, I don't have to complete, the cat or anything for what I had in mind. But I thought if I've at least done the based the backgrounds, then I could go in with some gel pens, and I could bring the book and the gel pens with me to school. Sometimes, I've got 10 or 20 minutes between the meetings. So between the meetings, then I was thinking I could, bring this book with me and some gel pens, because for the background, I want to do, I'm not quite sure yet, either one solid color or like two colors that complement each other or look good together, just maybe to create some dimension. And then for the pieces of toast, I want to just go around them with some gel pen. And again, I'm thinking I might do two different colors, so make it like a pattern. Or for example, I'm not sure, I haven't decided yet. I want to go through all my gel pens after I'm done basing to see what might look nice. But I was thinking, for example, a dark brown, a light brown, a dark brown, a light brown, or I might go with some completely different colors as well. But again, just like a pattern. And I thought that could be quite a nice thing to do when I do have those 10-20 minutes between the parent-teacher meetings, because it's quite mindless. It will help me kind of just reset my mind before, it starts all over again. Okay, I think that's looking quite good for a base for the toast. So let's get my color chart out and have a little think about what we could do for the background. So I'm thinking, because the toast will be quite warm and brown, I want to give the cat different colors. So perhaps, for example, some gray, just to create a little bit of a contrast. I don't think I want him to be, a brown cat or an orange cat or anything like that. So I think I will probably go for gray. So brown toast, gray cat. Then what about the background? I again don't want to go for something that will take, too much of the attention away from the cat. At the same time, I'm thinking I kind of want something that will go with, the toast theme. So perhaps we could go with something like this, maybe this golden ochre, and something a little bit darker, deeper. Okay, I've decided I'm going to go for golden ochre and cinnamon. So let me get those two colors out, and then we will keep going. Now, in terms of where I'm planning to place these colors on the page, I will just go in and, put them a little bit randomly around the page, really. Perhaps a bit more of the lighter color near the cat. And then some of this darker color more towards the edges. But again, I also want it to be a good mixture. I don't want it to be, like a frame or anything like that. So yeah, what were we talking about? The parent-teacher meetings. So I was thinking, then I could leave the book in school. We have our meetings on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think, this week. So I can leave the book in school and just have it there for when I need that little bit of a reset between the meetings. It's always nice to have something a bit mindless to do, because if not, I end up just, sitting around not really doing anything, because everyone else are in their own meetings, and so, there's no one to really talk to or anything like that. And yeah, other than that, I'm excited for half term. My husband and I don't really have any specific plans for this holiday. We are just going to stay at home, I think, and relax. We did think about maybe possibly, doing just like a little city break or something to another city near us. But again, we haven't really decided anything at this point in time. So I think we'll probably end up just relaxing, spending some time together, and maybe finding some fun activities that we can do that are not just the same things that we normally end up doing together, like going someplace fun, maybe a museum or something, or yeah, I don't know. Whatever we end up doing, I'm sure it will be nice. I think before I go any further, I want to activate what I've already put down, just because I feel like I keep putting my hand into it and I don't want to end up smearing it. Let me just pop this sheet down as well, because we'll be going quite close to the edge. I think that color will be very nice. Exactly what I had in mind. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to a relaxing half term together. The weather is starting to change and things like that. So we're not going and doing as many things outside as we usually would do anymore. So it would be nice in the holiday to try to make, a conscious effort to go and do something outside. Yeah, I think that could be quite nice. Other than that, again, as the weather is changing, I'm getting more and more into doing kind of indoorsy things like baking, and of course I do coloring, which I try to keep up with all year round, but I feel like my husband is a bit more interested in sitting down with me at the moment and coloring, which is really nice because we can sit in the same room and do different things, and that's absolutely fine too. But I really enjoy sharing the things that I like doing with him, as I'm sure he really enjoys sharing things that he likes doing with me. And so it's nice that we have a chance to do some of those things together sometimes as well. I'm sorry if you can hear like some loud noises. There's construction happening just across the street from our house. And I'm not sure exactly what they're doing right now, but it's quite noisy. So sorry if you can also hear that. But yeah, as I was saying, we're enjoying, doing some indoorsy things together. Quite often on the weekend now, we will, for example, sit down and watch a movie together. So if any of you have any good autumnal movie recommendations, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. We're also watching Love is Blind at the moment. So the new season of Love is Blind US is just up. So we've started watching that together. I really, really enjoy it. I'm not 100% sure about, my husband, but he tolerates watching it because he knows that I really love it. And he's actually getting quite into it this time around as well. So, now we discuss who we think would be better for each other and things like that. And it's just, yeah, it's entertaining and I really enjoy it. Other things that I tend to enjoy in the autumn, as I said, I really like baking and cooking and doing those kind of things. And at the moment, I'm really into pumpkins and adding pumpkins to things, whether that's, my food or the things that I bake, or anything like that. So we've been buying some, nice big pumpkins. We're going to make some pumpkin puree, and hopefully we'll have enough to put some in the freezer as well for later in the year, in the winter, when pumpkins aren't that easy to come by. I'm quite liking how this is turning out. Some areas are still looking a little bit messy, so I might have to go in with another layer, or just maybe not a whole other layer, maybe just a little bit of extra neo color to touch up in certain areas. But I think it will turn out quite nice, and especially, as I said, when I get that gel pen on top of the pieces of toast. And of course, just getting a page done in this book as well will be really nice, because I really love the illustrations in this book with all the cute cats and things. I'm a cat person. We have a cat. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this book with all the fun, whimsical little kitties in, situations that I could totally see our cat end up in as well. Maybe not so much this one in particular, but, some of them where they are inside the boxes or sleeping in various areas. It's exactly like seeing our cat, so that's fun. I haven't really done a background like this with my neo colors before, so it's quite nice to test out. I've used them for a lot of other things, but yeah, just, this kind of splodgy background with two different colors kind of just merging into each other a little bit more randomly isn't really something that I've tried out before. I always like trying out new things, and I hope you enjoy seeing me trying out some new things on the camera for the first time with you as well. I feel like, these coloring chats, they don't have to be perfect. Like whatever I end up doing is what I end up doing. And just like in my day-to-day coloring, not every page will turn out exactly the way I want it. And so, yeah, I really don't mind, trying out new things in these videos, because again, it'll either work out or it won't. But either way, it is a page done and lessons learned and all those kind of things. So, yeah. These edges around the cat are a little bit tricky just because, the cat is a bit fluffy. On Friday, I went to a dance class with some of my friends from work, and it was really fun. Really enjoyed getting moving and, doing something a little bit out of the usual. So maybe we'll keep going to that. I know that one of my friends really, really enjoyed it, so I think she definitely wants to keep going. So again, yeah, I might keep going to that with her. It was nice to spend some time together outside of work, and she's not really a friend that I work very closely with anymore. We did used to work very closely together, so it was really nice to have a chance to catch up with her and spend some time together again, because even though we still work in the same school, we don't work closely together in the way that we used to. Is this still wet? Maybe that's still wet. Let me be careful. Yeah, we don't work closely together in the way that we used to do before. So it was really nice to get, a chance to spend some time together. have a little catch up, talk about what's been happening in our lives. We also shared, some ideas for things that we might want to do in the holidays. She talked about some of the places that she's recently gone to. And yeah, it was lovely having a catch up. I'm just going for the same kind of thing again. Oh no. I got some neo color over here on this other page. Okay, it's not too bad. I cannot remember what I was saying again. I think it was about my friend. It was really nice having a catch up with her. And yeah, just see how, she's getting on now. Talking about how I'm getting on now. And yeah, that was really, really nice. So I hope we can continue doing something like that together. What kind of activities do you all like to do to stay active? I try to, get out for some fresh air and things, going for walks and things like that. But as it's getting colder and colder, I'm again gravitating more and more towards more indoorsy activities. So yeah, things like a dance class could be really nice because again, it's indoors, so don't have to worry too much about the cold and things like that. But it's still a good chance to be active. Another thing that I try to make sure I do every day at the moment, together with my husband, is some kind of breathing exercises. Because if you watched my last color and chat video, I think I mentioned it there. In the summer, we did a freediving course, and I would be really interested in doing kind of like the next course up from the one that we did, maybe during the Christmas holiday. So I need to keep, working on holding my breath for longer and things like that, because the next course will of course be a little bit more difficult. The expectations are a little bit higher. And yeah, I'm working on that at the moment, just trying to improve my breath holds and feeling more comfortable holding my breath for longer. And again, I have made sure that I make my husband do it with me every day, because it's kind of just, it's easier to do these kind of things when you have someone to be accountable to, whether that's a friend, or it could even be, for me at least, it still works if it's like, a coach or a group class or something that I have already paid for as well. That helps keep me accountable, just to make sure that I keep going even on the days that I don't feel as motivated. So yeah, I enlisted the help of my husband to make sure that we do that together every day. And that way, that will help me stay motivated and actually do it, so I can keep making progress before hopefully doing the next course in December. It will be the second Christmas since we moved here, and because we're now quite far away from our families, I don't think we will be going home this year. We went home in the summer and visited both of our families, So yeah, I don't think we'll be going home at Christmas this year. I think we will do something different. And at the moment, we are looking at perhaps going to Thailand. We're both really into diving, scuba diving, and doing kind of like water themed activities. So yeah, we really want to do that for Christmas this year. Especially if we spend this holiday not really doing, a whole lot of things, then we can spend the next holiday traveling and going somewhere fun. Okay, I think I'm really enjoying how this is looking at the moment. Probably even more than I did about halfway through. I feel like it's really growing on me. And again, I think once I get that gel pen on, it will look really, really nice. Just trying to make sure that there aren't any kind of like harsh edges anywhere and that everything is looking quite smooth and blended. And I hope I'm not adding too much water. No, there doesn't seem to be any bleed through on the next page anywhere. So that's good. Because again, it is the first time I'm coloring in this book, so I don't know, I saw other people color in Camilla's books and they say that they take water very well. But of course, you never know until you've actually tried it yourself to see how much water you can use and things like that. But even though I did use quite a lot, this book seems to have taken it really, really well. Yeah. I think this second half turned out better than the first half. I don't know what I did differently. But I like how this side turned out better. Maybe we can add in just a teeny tiny bit more of this golden ochre shade. Ooh, just realized you can't actually see what's happening. Sorry. But I think I did better with my, talking throughout the video this time than I did last time. Sorry if it ended up being a little bit rambly because, again, I was just trying to focus on talking whilst also trying to focus on coloring. And this is only my second, color and chat video, so it's still a little bit difficult for me to do both at the same time. I think that I will leave this video here for today. And I think I will leave this background here as well. As I said, I will be using, pencil to color the cat and also to shade this piece of toast here. And then I will be going in with some kind of colored gel pen to trace over these pieces of toast around him, just to do something with the background, but not detract too much from the main image. I also need to make sure that I flatten this page out a little bit as well. But yeah, I think I will leave it here for today. So thank you so much for watching this video today. Again, if you have any recommendations for autumnal movies or TV shows, I would love to hear in the comments below. And don't forget to let me know what kind of activities you do to stay active when the weather is getting colder outside. Or if you live, somewhere where it's not getting colder outside, you could also still let me know, your favorite indoorsy activities. I would love to hear. But other than that, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos from me, I would love to have you sticking around by hitting that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching today and have a great rest of your day. Bye!